A sight that has become more common in London in recent months. Another Palestinian solidarity protest, this one outside the British Department of Business and Trade.
Stop arming Israel!
Demanding that the UK government revoke arms export licenses to Israel. It is one of the most contentious issues for campaigners, what part the UK plays in the catastrophe unfolding in Gaza, and what it means for its own duties under international law. Reminding the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak of those obligations, more than 600 lawyers and academics voicing their concern about Israel's war on Gaza. They're calling for the British government to suspend the provision of weapons to Israel, saying the UK is in breach of international law. They also say the government must work towards an immediate and permanent ceasefire and stress that position through the UN Security Council. The lawyers say the UK must urgently impose sanctions on senior members of the Israeli government who've made statements inciting genocide. Adding to this, a revelation by a Conservative MP chairing a parliamentary foreign affairs committee that the government's own lawyers issued advice that Israel had breached international law. The Foreign Secretary, David Cameron, avoided answering.
So you've never had a piece of paper put in front of you by a Foreign Office lawyer that says that Israel is in breach of its international humanitarian commitments under international humanitarian law?
Look, the reason for not answering this question, I can't recall every single bit of paper that's been put in front of me, and so I don't want to answer that question.
One of the signatories of the letter says there are serious legal issues at stake.
The rules of war require that civilians are protected as far as possible. But the death of apparently over 30,000 civilians in Gaza is a pretty strong indication that Israel has gone far beyond what is permitted in international law.
The killing of 7 aid workers in an Israeli attack may have further forced the issue of how Israel is conducting itself in Gaza. A personal tragedy for those affected and a disaster for Israel's public perception. Suspending arms trade licenses would be one way for the UK to balance its legal obligations. But the dilemma for the Prime Minister, how he can continue to remain firm as an ally of Israel as public support for the country continues to diminish. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera, London.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.